Guys, thanks for the recent support on my post. You guys hit 15 likes in just one day, and honestly, that's crazy. So as promised, here is the full list. And yeah, this is my personal ranking, so don't hate. Instead, correct me in the comments and give ideas for the next video. Today, I'm ranking all Blox fruits, from the most useless to the absolute best. And trust me, the top ones might actually surprise you. Before we start, comment your fruit right now. Let's see. Are you actually using something good? Or just suffering with it? D tier, just don't use these. I'm not even going to sugarcoat this. If you're using these fruits, you're making the game harder for yourself. Rubber low damage and very inconsistent in PvP. Abilities are hard to land and don't give strong combos. Overall, there are way better options available. Creation, very weak and not useful in most situations. Doesn't perform well in PvP or grinding. Feels completely outclassed by other fruits. Quake, good concept but lacks real impact in fights. Slow attacks and easy to dodge abilities. Not reliable in PvP anymore. Spike, very basic fruit with limited damage output. Gets outclassed very easily. Smoke, only useful in early game because of Logia. Damage and abilities are very weak later. Not viable for mid or high level players. Bomb low range and poor damage scaling. Hard to use effectively in PvP. Very limited overall usefulness. Spring, mobility is decent but damage is extremely low. Not useful in serious fights. Better fruits exist in every situation. Blade, chop. Immunity is nice but abilities are weak. Damage output is very low. Not effective in PvP or grinding. Spin, very low damage and poor abilities. Hard to use in any serious gameplay. Feels completely useless compared to others. Rocket, basic fruit with almost no strong abilities. Only useful at very early levels. Falls off instantly. C tier, mid, not useless. But honestly, why would you pick these? Control, very high skill fruit with strong potential. But most players can't use it properly. Hard to master and inconsistent in PvP. Not beginner friendly at all. Venom, decent damage and good transformation. Performs okay in PvP and grinding, but doesn't dominate any area. Just average overall. Shadow, used to be strong in older meta. Now it feels slow and outdated. Still usable, but not competitive. Outclassed by newer fruits. Love, good for grinding and support gameplay. Besto Friendo helps a lot in fights. Decent in PvP, but not strong. Balanced, but not impressive. Sound, performs okay in most situations, but lacks strong damage or combos. Doesn't stand out anywhere. Very average fruit. Phoenix, great healing and survivability. Useful in long fights and support roles, but lacks damage and pressure. Very situational overall. Spider, flexible fruit with decent abilities. Can be used in PvP and grinding, but doesn't excel in anything. Feels average overall. Diamond, good for defense and damage reduction. Helps in survivability during fights, but lacks offensive power. Not useful in most situations. Eagle, Falcon, after rework still not impressive. Damage and abilities are average. Struggles against stronger fruits. Overall mid-tier performance. Dark, outdated and not competitive anymore. Lacks speed and damage. Can still be used but not effective. Easily outclassed. Sand, has decent combo potential, but abilities are hard to aim. Requires skill but low reward. Not worth using over better fruits. Flame, good for beginners due to AoE. Easy to use in early game, but becomes weak later. Falls off badly in high level. Tier, strong but not broken. Now we're getting into actually good fruits. Gravity, good spam and control abilities. Can perform well in PvP with skill, but lacks consistency. Not strong enough for top tier. Mammoth, tanky and very comfortable to use. Performs well in long fights. Reliable and easy to handle. Solid overall fruit. Magma, king of sea events and farming. Deals high damage over time. Melts bosses very quickly. Perfect for grinding resources. Light, best fruit for beginners. Fast movement and Logia advantage. Easy to use and effective. Still useful later in the game. Strong stun abilities for easy combos. Very beginner friendly. Great for PvP learning. Reliable and effective. Ghost, balanced fruit with useful abilities. Second life gives a huge advantage. Good for survival in clutch moments. Works well in multiple situations. Blizzard, huge AoE and strong control. Very effective in PvP and events. Can trap enemies easily. Very underrated fruit. A tier, meta breakers. Now we're entering the fruits that actually make you dangerous. Dragon West and Dragon East. Insane damage with massive AoE. Constant pressure makes fights one-sided. Spam potential is extremely high. Even average players become strong. Kitsune, one of the most complete fruits. Speed, buffs, combos, and mobility. You can chase and escape easily. Dominates PvP and sea events. Lightning, easy stuns and huge AoE attacks. Very simple to use with high damage. Perfect for both beginners and pros. Low skill, high reward. Pain, underrated but very powerful fruit. Strong in PvP and sea events. Second life ability changes fights completely. Very dangerous in clutch situations. Yete, tanky with huge damage and range. Very hard to kill in long fights. Perfect for sea events. Punishes mistakes heavily. Portal, skill-based but extremely powerful. Insane mobility and teleport plays. Controls the entire fight. Best for high-skill players. Tiger, fast, aggressive, and high AoE damage. Keeps constant pressure on enemies. Great for fast-paced PvP. Very strong and skilled hands. Gas, spam heavy with constant damage. Very effective in grinding and events. Annoying and hard to counter. easy to use and strong. Buddha, best grinding fruit in the game. Huge range and survivability, also strong in PvP builds, essential for fast progression. T-Rex, high damage with strong combos, easy to use and very reliable, good for PvP and grinding, solid all-rounder. Doe, top tier PvP fruit with deadly combos, smooth moves and high damage, easy to use and very effective, still one of the strongest fruits. Final message. So yeah, that's my full ranking. Some of you will agree, some of you will be mad. But that's the point. If your fruit is in C or D tier, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, and comment your fruit, because next time, I might update this list based on you.